My name is Sophia Tagger. I'm a student at Lane Community College, and I'm here today to talk about the effects of overworking can have on a person and what we can do to care for ourselves. So why is this important? Well, we want to look at the statistics. A high number of work-related stress comes from being overworked and a lack of work-life balance, as we can see from this graph here that I pulled from JobSage's survey. As I will be going over throughout this video, being overworked can lead to a lot of health issues, both physically and mentally, so it's important to know how overworking can affect us and what we can do to care for ourselves, as well as advocating for ourselves when it comes to overworking. So first we're going to look at the physical effects. We have some obvious ones like muscle exhaustion, which is a common complaint, as well as muscle strain and injury. But it really goes much deeper than that. Overworking yourself can lead to many things that aren't so obvious to the naked eye, or we may not even blame it on overworking ourselves. One that many may not know about is an increased risk of cardiovascular disease, such as heart attacks, aneurysms, strokes, or diseases of the heart. This could be linked to work stress or mental health, which can impact heart health as well. Now, the next thing we commonly see with those excessively overworking themselves is an increased risk of diabetes and obesity. Those who work too much may find themselves changing their diet to better accommodate their busy schedules, and this can be linked to the epidemic of diabetes and obesity. Now, lastly, this one is common for those working in dangerous environments or with dangerous machinery, but can also be seen in those working office jobs, and that's an increased risk for workplace injury. When at work for long hours, employees may find themselves getting exhausted, leading to an increased risk of accidents. Now, for those in an office job, sitting in a chair all day long can commonly cause back issues, so if you're not finding time to move around throughout the day, then you may find yourself with an aching back. Next, we're going to move on to the mental effects, which we can see a wide variety of issues here. With mental health, it's common to see these pour into physical symptoms too, so these could possibly overlap with the last slide. First of all, a common mental health issue with those who are working long hours is depression and anxiety. When people find themselves clocked in for long hours, they lose that work-life balance as people tend to lack socialization and proper self-care. When we're not taking care of ourselves, it can affect us mentally. Now, anxiety is very common in the workplace as people find themselves stressing about deadlines and getting things done. So sleep deprivation can be seen as well in those working long hours. It's healthy for adults to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, but those who are working long or odd hours may find themselves getting much less sleep than that. This sleep deprivation can cause depression symptoms and make a person more anxious, and also impact a person physically. In an article written by Capo Young, he found that those who get the recommended amount of sleep every night were at lower risk of heart attack, diabetes, high blood pressure, and workplace injury. Those are just some of the things that can be lowered if Indle is getting proper sleep every night. The last thing for mental health I want to look at is negative health behaviors. This includes smoking, alcohol consumption, and inactivity. People who are feeling anxious in the workplace may find themselves turning these things as coping mechanisms, which has an impact on their health as well. Now, what can be done about all this? What can you as an individual do to help prevent burnout from overworking? In an article written in the Center for Creative Leadership, Marion Rutterman goes over some behaviors people can adapt in order to prevent burnout. The first behavior we can take on is simply sleeping. This energizes our bodies and prepares us to think and act properly. Next is physical activity, which has many benefits, including boosting our mood and increased energy and better performance. Then, we want to be able to mentally recover after a long day. This can be meditation or mindfulness exercises. If you go to the article, which I've linked at the end of this video, then you will find a link within the article that gives you some mental exercises you can perform. The fourth thing Rutterman mentions is social recovery, as she mentions how humans are social animals. So when we involve ourselves with other people, it can create positive benefits for ourselves. As we can see, by taking care of ourselves, we can lower the risk of some of these issues we've gone over. And we can care for ourselves mostly by watching the hours we are working and making sure we aren't going to burn ourselves out. So here I've just linked some of my sources, which I encourage you to read over some of them as they show some helpful studies that have been done, as well as the links to the articles I've used. Thanks for watching, and I hope you gained some knowledge from this video, and I hope you all can take care of yourselves out there.